Hello you fantastic people and welcome back to Borderlands 3. In this video we're going to go over my new flak sniper build, level 57 for Mayhem 4 2-volt hunter mode, and it is a mobbing machine. Also shreds bosses, by the way. It's an all-in-one thing. It is primarily centered for mobbing, so you could change up a few points and make it even more of a boss killing machine, but I'll show you guys gameplay as well of both mobbing and boss farming, and it does both absolutely amazing just with the base skill tree that I've got. So for example, I'll have some gameplay showing on screen so you guys can check it out in action of me running through Mayhem 4 2-volt hunter mode in the Athenas area. Absolutely wrecks all mobbing areas when there's a lot of mobs in one place. You're getting heaps of ricochet, bonus damage, getting all those kills up, and it absolutely one-shots everything. Maybe the only thing that could maybe tank 2, maximum 3 shots ever would be like the super tanky commandos, but like heavyweights one-shot them, any melee one guy one-shots them, and a lot of bosses you can do in under a clip. It is amazing and a lot of fun to use. On top of the few gameplay clips I have here, I'm going to make a separate video of a melee one takedown run on Mayhem 4 2-volt hunter mode that'll post about half an hour after this video goes live. So if you guys want to check out that one, I usually make a separate video for each of my builds so you guys can see how it works with survivability and how it works in different situations against bosses, against huge groups of mobs, all that fun stuff. If you happen to check it out in that video, if you guys are interested, it'll be linked in the description or the end title card screen. But yeah, in this video we're going to go over the gear that you guys want to be looking out for, plus any anointments if you guys are going for the best of the best builds, plus any shields, artifacts, class mods, all that fun stuff. Plus I'm going to run through the full skill tree for you guys, and I'll make notes of any changes you might want to make if you guys are going for just boss killing builds, because it does have some survivability in there, because flak is in need if you guys are doing some mobbing. I do, by the way, have some pretty tanky anointments on a few of my items. You don't need god roll items to make this build work. I didn't go all out with this build. I didn't get all of the best for everything, because I know a lot of people look at it and go, there's no way I had that much time to farm for it all. But you definitely don't need all of the best anointments. It's going to work without it. The skill tree, and if you've got the weapon, base damage is definitely going to work. It's just if you guys are going for the tankiest of builds, I thought I'd showcase some of the potential you guys have with this build. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that gameplay of the build in action. Now let's jump into the gear, starting with, this is the god roll, just a heads up. The skull masher, if you can get a good anointment on it, it's going to be amazing, but trust me, you do not need it. This thing is a tank without it. It is my new favorite sniper rifle, potentially even my new favorite weapon in the game. The skull masher is in DLC 2, and it comes with 5 projectiles on a sniper rifle, which works on just so many levels with the build. If you get 100% ASC, that is the absolute god roll you're going to be looking for this build. As of the time of making this video, it's unfortunately currently bugged. You can only get it from chests in DLC 2, but hopefully very soon Gearbox will fix that up and you'll be able to get it as a world drop. My second favorite sniper rifle is the Unseen Threat, also from DLC 2, and has an absolute god roll anointment, but trust me, you do not need it again. If you get a non-anointed one, by the way, with 100% ASC, it actually comes with a lot more base damage. I think it goes up to 8,800, so you're getting a lot more per shot when you're not using the ASC anoint, so you can go for that as well. Now as for a third, this sniper rifle is also from DLC 2. It's also bugged, unfortunately, so I haven't managed to get a good anointed one yet, and it is lacking compared to the other two, unfortunately. It does have a crazy buff. If you hit criticals, it does double the damage in shock. That's not even an anointment, that's just the gun itself. So it is good in a lot of situations, but currently without any anointments, it is kind of lacking compared to the other two. As for a fourth, the monocle, I just chucked it on here for banter, but it actually does a lot of damage. Other options is the wedding invitation if you still have a good level 53. Highly recommend chucking that one on. Of course, the Krakatoa works amazing for boss farming. As for a mobbing weapon, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it definitely shreds bosses wise. Now, as for shield, I'm pretty sure I've recommended it every single video, but the transformer is my favorite shield by far. Has a super high capacity, the 40% chance to absorb bullets is perfect for the melee one takedown or just any mobbing situation. It is great. If you guys are going for the anointments, try and get a 50% bonus elemental type of some kind. My favorite are fire, radiation, and corrosive, depending on what situation, if you're bossing or if you're doing the melee one takedown, etc. And then you'll try and combine that elemental type with the shield and grenade combo. You want to have a different element on each. So for example, melee one takedown, corrosive, and radiation is the best combo. And then for the grenade itself, my favorite is the power siphon transfusion tracker. This comes with a crazy health buff of 120% health damage dealt, put back in your health, and 6% shield back in your shield. Really good one to have as well. Now as for class mods, the stack bot is by far my favorite, because I actually main the skull mash sniper rifle. With those extra projectiles, you're amping that weapon damage super quick. It's 5% per critical hit, and because there's 5 projectiles, that's 25% per shot, and with that fire rate, you're getting that super quick. Plus the Jacob's bonuses down at the bottom. This isn't a god roll, by the way. If you guys want to get one of these, it's DLC 1 jackpot. It drops like 3 to 4 per run, so definitely recommend getting one of those. Other options include Deadeye for the single projectile sniper rifles. That works really well. Again, with sniper damage, weapon crit, anything like that's going to help you out a lot. Bounty Hunter works as well. If you can get those passive points, again, it's going to help you, but not necessary. Or even a Stalker mod. I don't think I have one in here at the moment, but they're going to help as well if you guys can get as many into the mobbing skill points as possible. Plus, again, just any damage is going to help you across the board. As for Artifact, I know a lot of you probably would have just thought I'd say the Snowdrift Auto Idle again, because it is my favorite artifact. It has been probably every single video, but there is a new favorite artifact. Now, as of DLC 2, the Pearl of Ineffable Knowledge is an absolute tank. If you guys haven't heard about it, it's been all over the internet, but if you guys haven't, it is a guaranteed drop via a mission in the DLC 2, and it is absolutely, like, it's a god roll. Consecutive hits grants 1% increased damage per hit up to 15 times. Once you're at max stacks, add an additional 90% damage, which is disgusting. This one works particularly well with the masher because that's only 3 hits in a row you have to get, essentially a fadeaway. If you hit all 3 shots in your fadeaway, you've got instantly 90% extra damage plus the 15% you already had. So you're at 110% increased damage after fadeaway. It is disgustingly good. Highly recommend getting one of these. Just essentially play DLC 2 and you'll get yourself one of these. You can get different rolls underneath the red text, but honestly, you don't really need it. Like, it's doing so much damage already. If you want to farm for the best of the best, I've seen a 50% mag size one. Recommend that for sniper rifles, or reload speed like I've got on here helps out again because snipers don't have the biggest mag size. Now the Pearl works really well with the Skull Masher due to its 5 projectile count, but for the other ones, maybe the Unseen Thread, it works pretty well in some situations, but for the single projectile ones down here, it's not that great of an option because you have to get 15 hits in a row consecutively without missing to get that extra damage. So other options would be an elemental projector if you're using like the Krakatoa, anything with elemental damage. The Snowdrift Auto Idle, I switched between these two in the melee one takedown. Highly recommend that for the slide speed survivability. If you can get sniper damage at the bottom, that'll work amazing. My mag size helps me out a lot in the melee one takedown. Plus, action skill cooldown rate is always a great perk to have. Now let's jump into the skill tree. I'll try and run through as much information whilst being concise and quick because I know there's a lot of new players in the community. We're going to start off with Fadeaway as our action skill. This is the best place for Flak when it comes to critical hits and doing maximum damage with Jacob's weapons. And then for Furious Attack, put 5 points into here. It's a no-brainer. Per hit, you're getting extra damage, 2% per stack, and it stacks up to 10 times. You get crazy amounts of damage really quick in pretty much every situation. Self-repairing system, Flak struggles with survivability. Definitely put 5 points into here. Increases max health and regen. That'll get you down to turn, tail, and run. Always put 3 points into here. Gets you gun damage and fire rate whilst still, and also regens health and damage reduction whilst moving, so that helps in a lot of situations. If you're Flak and you're in fadeaway, you want to try and stand still for that extra gun damage when you have this perk activated. Chuck a point into Lick the Wounds. The pet will try to revive you whenever you're down. It is super helpful and definitely necessary if you're in the melee one takedown, at least in my opinion. You need an extra point to get down to the next level, so I recommend Overclock. Get a little bit of extra fire rate in there because that is for multiplayer. That is just, I never use that in my life, and that is not that impressive out of a cooldown perk, so I just go with increased fire rate. Down to the Fast and the Furious, I have 2 extra points in here for my class mod, but it'll increase your gun damage, movement speed, and pet damage. Now, as you guys can see, there's only 2 points into Hidden Machine. Usually I always put 5 points into this, but for this build, I'm interchanging them between a Rage and Recover and Hidden Machine. So if you guys need more health regen, go like I have and put it into Rage and Recover. If you need more damage and you're fine with your survivability, chuck it into Hidden Machine. Currently this one's a little bugged, but hopefully that gets fixed. But yeah, currently works at sort of half-ish. It depends on the situation. Next up is the Power Inside. This is a great capstone. You get increased damage. If you go into fadeaway whilst at full health, you'll get double that extra damage, which is 50% total, and that lasts for 15 seconds. Depending on how you play, and if you got those good accuracy skills for hitting those critical hits, you'll get action skill back on repeat within that 15 seconds, and you should be always doing this kind of damage. Of course, if you're keeping that health up also. Over to Blue Tree is always super simple for this kind of critical build. I only put 3 points into Persistent Hunter. for that increased gun damage and primarily the action skill duration. That's super helpful for a lot of reasons, one being survivability. If you're in trouble, you just go into fadeaway, get out the way, get some regen time, throw some grenades for that extra health, and then reset. You can also get into situations to line up your shots, get into the Wotan shield area, all that fun stuff whilst not being hit. Now, as for red tree, always put 3 points into leave no trace practically for any of my builds. Free ammo on critical hits is what you're about, and it's putting it back into your magazine so you don't have to reload. Super crucial for this sniper build, put 3 points there. For the bobbing section, definitely put Interplanetary Stalker on. Kill skills increases your gun damage. Now, if you guys want to use this build just for boss killing, it will definitely work, but you don't have to put points into Interplanetary Stalker because it is a kill skill. So you can put your points into the increased reload. We have a few points in here for later on in the build because I do like the reload speed with the sniper rifles because I don't want to be reloading forever. So put your extra points in here if you're just doing boss killing. Down onto head count, put 3 points in here all the time. Critical hits reduce action skill cooldown rate, and that is definitely what you want. As for Hunter's Eye, I put 4 points into here, and we have 1 extra for our class mod. That's going to get you extra bonuses depending on who you are fighting. Super helpful if you're also using a bounty hunter class mod. You'll get all of these will be regarded as bosses perks, but even without it, you're getting that increase for critical hit damage against humans, which means you're definitely one-shotting everything. Armor damage against robots, super helpful for the melee 1 takedown, and damage reduction against beasts, depending on what boss you're fighting. Now, Two Fang is actually a great option depending on if you are maining either the Skull Masher or single projectile sniper rifles. If you're getting an extra projectile in a single projectile sniper, you're going to be doing a lot more damage, actually double damage, because you've got an extra whole bullet going per shot, and it's free ammo. At max stacks, at max points, you get 25% chance, which is actually super high. I didn't spec into it because I mostly used the Skull Masher, so it's kind of wasted for a 5 projectile sniper. But if you wanted to use Two Fang and a single projectile, take the points out of either Hunter's Eye or the reload speed, maybe some out of both, and put points into Two Fang. Also, particularly if you are using Deadeye, definitely put as many points into Two Fang as you can, because that's going to be amping it even more. Down to big game, chuck in 3 points here. It's always a no-brainer for the red tree. Get increased hunter skill duration and skill effects. If you're mobbing, most dangerous game is definitely a go-to. It's a great kill skill for increasing your damage and lasts a super long time. You'll always have for the melee 1 takedown or any mobbing situation. Again, if you're not mobbing, this is another great perking. Take points out of and chuck it into Two Fang if you're just trying to kill bosses as quickly as possible. Down to the next round, we've got Galactic Shadow. Definitely put a point in here. Increases critical damage by 15% for just 1 point, which is super cheap. We didn't put points into Grim Harvest. Instead, we put it into a reload speed. If you guys don't care about reload speed at all, feel free to just chuck it into Grim Harvest. The reason we don't put points into here for this one is the gun damage increase is so marginal. I'd rather have the reload speed in the melee 1 takedown than an increase of 3% gun damage per skill point spent. Now, Megavore is the best capstone perk in this skill tree build. It has a 20% chance to score a critical hit on any part of the enemy's body, which for like a high projectile weapon, that is fantastic at reducing your cooldown rate. It's amazing for just damage in general. Also, it puts bullets back into your magazine via leave no trace. Definitely chuck a point in Megavore. Now, as for Augment's Unblinking Eye is definitely the best one in my opinion. Successive hits on the same target increase critical damage per hit. Unblinking Eye resets every 3 hits, and it's 75% increase critical damage per hit. That's absolutely nasty on the Skull Masher. It's absolutely nasty on everything, so definitely recommend putting that on. Now, this one is optional. If you guys have 100% ASC Anoints or any anointments that rely on your action skill ending, definitely don't use Gorillas in the Mist. You'll want to be putting it into either Not My Circus, or if you want Until Dead for the health regen or movement speed. Great option, by the way, if you want that. It's going to be putting Fadeaway back to a 3-shot like duration, essentially. Plus, you're going to be getting the full critical hit damage of Fadeaway, whereas Gorillas in the Mist reduces that damage. But if you guys don't have those ASC anointments and you just have base level weapons, Gorillas in the Mist can be a great option. It can keep you alive for longer. You can get more damage over time. Depending on the situation, you can use Gorillas in the Mist. It is also a great augment. Not My Circus is the one I currently use because after Fadeaway ends, Flak's pet will taunt, drawing the attention of all enemies in a huge radius. That essentially means we're not going to be getting shot. We're going to be doing increased damage, particularly if you are using Hidden Machine, because enemies aren't attacking you, they're attacking the pet. Plus, it's just super easy to just walk around and shoot everything in the back because it's actually trying to shoot your pet instead of you. Now, as for pet choice, the Gunslinger Jabber is still my go-to favorite pet for critical hit damage and movement speed. Plus, he uses a weapon, so he doesn't actually just run underneath Wotan's feet and get stomped on. If you guys are using a elemental sniper rifle like the Krakatoa, is an amazing option. Chuck on the Spider Ant Scorcher. That'll increase your health regen, and 10% elemental damage increase is a really good buff to also have. But yeah, that's everything I have for my level 57 Flak Sniper Rifle Mayhem 4 mobbing and bossing build all in one. It's actually super fun to use, so I hope you guys found this video helpful or enjoyable. If you did, feel free to smash subscribe down below and smack that bell. YouTube will notify you for whenever I post a video, which is daily, by the way. I've posted many build videos already. If you guys are interested, they'll be on the channel for you guys. If you guys want to see this build run through the melee one takedown on True Vault Hunter mode Mayhem 4, I'll post a separate video just after this one gets posted. If I post them at the same time, YouTube messes up. But that'll be linked in the description or the end card title screen, and you can check it out there. If you guys want to come check us out over on Twitch, I live stream every single day just after I post my YouTube videos. That'll be linked in the description, or just search CodyMQ on Twitch. It's all the same on my social media. And yeah, it's actually a super fun time. We just hang out with chat, and it's just great vibes, and I stream every day. So if you guys want to come check us out, that would be much appreciated. If you guys want to help me out even more, you could like and share the video down below. That would be amazing. And yeah, hope you guys have a fantastic day. I shall see you guys in the next video and or live stream. Till then, adios.